Good morning, Red Devils. Today is August 19th.
Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now a very important message from Officer Grant about school safety.
Hey guys, as we get ready to start the 2021 school year, there's just a couple of things that I need to go over with you real quick. These are some things that every year we see students get themselves in trouble with, and not only can it end up in school discipline, but can also potentially end up with criminal charges. The first one we're going to talk about is sexting. And it's pretty cut and dry, guys. Sexting is illegal. Anytime that you're under the age of 18 and you take an inappropriate picture and send it out, it's illegal. And you have to understand there's lots of different layers to that one thing. Let's start at the beginning. The person who takes the inappropriate picture of themselves and sends it out, that person is guilty of a crime. The fact that they took a picture of themselves as a juvenile and sent it out is a crime. That's just the first part, though. Now let's talk about the people that receive it. Anyone that receives that picture, if they asked for that picture, they've already committed a crime. If they didn't ask for the picture, but they received it and kept it, they've committed a crime. If they've received the picture and retransmitted it, gave it to someone else, sent it to someone else, airdropped it, however they gave it back out, they've committed another crime. And you have to understand that there's lots of different levels to this. On the most serious end of it, it can fall under stuff like distribution of child pornography, which is a heavy-duty felony charge that will end up getting you registered as a sex offender. So this can get really serious really fast. The only way that somebody can technically be safe in this is if they've never asked for a picture and one just shows up, if they just receive it. The only way that they can keep themselves safe is to get with a parent, tell the parent about it, and in the parent's presence, delete the photo. Get rid of it. Then you didn't ask for it, you didn't want it, you didn't keep it, and you let someone know about it. That's the only way that you can stay safe there. Any other way, you take the chance of getting yourself in trouble. The other part of that is, that I will tell you is this, is when this happens, somebody sends a picture to someone that they feel like they can trust. Trust changes. Relationships change. Friendships change. And that's how these things end up getting out. Every year we have students that feel like they can trust somebody, they take an inappropriate picture, they send it out, and next thing they know, that trust issue has changed, and now their picture is all over the school. Once you hit send, once it goes out, there is no getting it back. There is no such thing as making sure that it's gone forever. And what you don't want to do is end up with it haunting you later on in life. You're trying to get into a college, you're trying to get into a job, you're trying to get married, you're trying to get into the military, and all of a sudden this picture pops back up to haunt you. The best thing to do is don't do it. Do not put yourself in that situation. Next thing we're going to talk about is cyberbullying. Anytime that you use social media, any platform of social media, text, anything like that, to bother, intimidate, threaten, or harass anyone, that can fall under cyberbullying under the school discipline codes. It can also fall under stalking in the law. Hopefully the situation will not arise where it needs to get to that level, but I have seen it happen. I have charged people with that. Do not use any form of social media to bother, intimidate, harass anyone, because it will fall under something that you'll get disciplined at school. Now people say every year, well, I didn't do it at school, so they can't mess with me. Yes, they can. Anytime that something you do outside of school affects inside of school, they can discipline you under school discipline codes. So bear in mind that if you do something on social media, it can count against you at school. The other part of that is threats. Threats of any kind, whether it's something verbal that's said in a hallway or something that's done by text, any type of social media, This has gotten extremely serious these days, guys. You have to understand that anytime that there's a threat made of violence in the school setting, it will get referred to me and I will have to investigate it, whether it's something verbal or it's something that was written on a bathroom wall. It doesn't matter how it gets communicated, it's going to get investigated. The other part of that is this. There is a zero tolerance policy for anybody threatening to do harm at a school. And if that is conveyed in such a way that it fits within the statute, you will be charged with the crime. No questions asked. Do not make any kind of threat to do any kind of harm to anyone at school. The other part of that is anytime that you do any type of written threat to do harm to an individual, you don't like somebody, you're having a feud with somebody, whatever, and you start texting them that you're going to do violence to them, and you make a threat to do violence to them, if they choose to report that, that can be considered to be a crime. Don't put yourself in that situation. Now, with all three of those things that we've talked about, the sexting, the cyberbullying, and the threats, here's something you need to understand, is that even though you delete something off of your phone, off of your computer, off of wherever, that stuff is still recoverable. And what I mean by that is if it gets to the point where it's, it becomes a crime and it's being investigated as a crime, law enforcement can seize your equipment. They can take your phone, your computer, whatever it is, they can have it forensically examined, and they can bring back anything that you have deleted. So don't think that just because you hit delete that it's gone. That doesn't always mean the same thing there, folks. Now, the last thing we'll talk about is vaping. We had a huge issue with it last year. You need to understand that vaping for juveniles is illegal. If you get caught with a vape at school, there's going to be school consequences. There can also be law enforcement consequences depending upon what is in the vape. Bear that in mind. Don't bring them to school. Do not have vapes at school. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get caught. It happens day after day, time after time, every school year. Do not have vapes at school. Last thing I'm going to touch on is any kind of weapons or drugs. Zero tolerance policy. Any weapons, any drugs at school, you will get charged. Don't make that mistake. All right, guys, that's it for me. If you have any questions, I'm always here every day. Just feel free to talk to me at any time. Thanks, and have a good school year.
And that's all the announcements we have for you guys today. We hope you have a great day.
And we'll see you tomorrow.